Have you ever felt that you weren't worthy enough or good enough, that you didn't belong, that you couldn't do something? Well, there's a condition called imposter syndrome, and virtually everybody has it, but most people probably have never heard of it. And, for me, I probably had it my whole life, but I can think of a few examples in my own life where I felt like I wasn't worthy enough. I wasn't good enough. What was I doing there? I don't belong. One of those spaces was when I was in law school. Because, I always kind of felt like, okay, I'm a goofball. And, I have a certain degree of intelligence and did well in college, studied the night before, wasn't real, studious every day about studying. And then when I got to law school and you saw all these people and they were like in the law library studying all the time, very studious, they had their groups. And then I kind of felt kind of flaky, like, what are you doing here? And tell you the truth, I actually joined a study group in law school and I got kicked out, because it was like, okay, they wanted you to do some level of preparation before you got to the study group. And, they didn't really say it. I just showed up, and then because I wasn't as prepared as them, they just basically told me to leave after a few sessions, I didn't even tell me like this is what we expect, you know, if you don't meet that, you'll have to leave. It was like, no, you're just gone. So I was like, I felt really rejected then. And so I went through law school and I ended up eventually graduating. And I passed the bar in Utah and started practicing there, practiced for about 7 years. And it's the same thing. Okay, well, now I'm an attorney, and you see all these people, they're so professional. They've got their suit and tie on, and, they seem like they're all prepared and they know their stuff well. And people look up to them as, an authority in law. And I'm thinking, oh, do I really belong here? I kind of felt like myself. I felt like I was kind of a flake. I used to actually have visualizations where I could see one of my law professors saying to me, going, oh, you're a joke, and this is what after I was an attorney. I mean, he never said that to me in law school, but I kind of like had a visualization now that I was an attorney of him just kind of sitting in judgment of me, having contempt for me, saying, you're a joke, so that's kind of what imposter syndrome is. And I've had it really bad. And I think it's kind of held me back a lot. And it caused me to fail a lot because, when you lack the confidence and you feel like you really shouldn't be there, it can bring you down. And I kind of came to a point where practicing law wasn't really for me. And I started writing, and it was kind of the same thing. You know, how do you really think you're a writer? What if my stuff's crap? And I started to write my books. I wrote my first book, and I got some reviews on there that were good, and I got all positive feedback. So I thought, okay, well, I can write. And I think my what I'm saying is pretty good. I've gotten some positive feedback. But then you kind of have the doubt, like, yeah, maybe you're okay, but yeah, you're self-published. Are you really even a writer? And it's like your books don't sell that many. Are you really that good? Or do you just have a few friends that tell you what you want to hear? And so it starts over again. I'm not worthy. I don't belong in this world of writing. But I keep going and I write more books, you know, and it's just like whatever you do, you know, imposter syndrome can set in. I think the thing to realize though is that it's probably a lot more common than you think. I think probably virtually everybody has a level of imposter syndrome. Even the people that you think are all together and they seem very with it professional and, they seem so confident. Deep down, they may have imposter syndrome or they may have at least struggled with it at different points in their life. So you're not alone. A lot of what creates imposter syndrome is that we judge ourselves, and that if you can start to let go of the judgment, just let it go and let go of the perfectionism, that everything just has to be perfect, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. If perfection is the standard, nobody's ever going to meet it. So you have to let the judgments of yourself go. You have to let the perfectionism go. You have to know that you're worthy of good things in your life. You may end up coming to realize that a particular avenue is not for you because you don't like it, or it just, it just doesn't suit you. And that's fine. But know that you are a worthy person and that you can do so many great things that you don't have to be afraid, and just let that go. And I think one thing that can help too is imagine whatever the worst case scenario is, and just have the ability to accept, if that was to happen, it's okay. I can accept that. But that I'm going to just do my best to try, and then I know I'm going to be, that I'm worthy, and then I belong here if I want to be here, and just go forward. Because chances are, even if you don't succeed as much as you want, in all likelihood, the worst case scenario may never happen, probably likely won't ever happen. But if you can accept where you are and anything that can come your way, then it's like you're sort of freed up. Now I can just have fun with it. Now I can just enjoy the process. Now I can just go forward in whatever I want to do and not worry about whether I'm getting it just perfect, or I don't have to judge myself. Just to be liberated to go forward in whatever you want to do. You know, I'm making this video right now. It's probably far from perfect. There's probably a million ways I could have done this video better, but it doesn't matter because I'm trying to speak from my heart and I'm trying to speak to you, hoping that maybe I reach something in you to help you out. So don't let imposter syndrome keep you down. Let go of the judgments and the perfection. Accept who you are and where you're going. Believe in the process. Just enjoy the process. And I think you'll be a lot happier. Now let's do a meditation. Close your eyes. Get comfortable in your chair. We're going to breathe in deeply through our nose, hold, exhale through our mouth. Let's take in our first deep breath. Breathe in deeply. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. This next breath, I want you to breathe in total acceptance for yourself, and then to exhale any judgments. Breathe in acceptance. Exhale judgment. Take another breath of acceptance. Exhale judgment. I want you to imagine yourself in a giant library with thousands upon thousands of volumes. This library represents possibilities because on each shelf is a book with a new avenue, a new possibility for you, a new adventure. You're entitled to open any book you want, to have any adventure you want, and to know that you belong in that library. You're as worthy as anyone else to enjoy your life, to enjoy life, to have adventures, to have new opportunities, to explore things. Explore what you want to do with your life. And know that if it's right for you, you'll be just fine. And if you pick up a book and it doesn't suit you, you can close it, put it back on the shelf, get another book. Enjoy the process of just finding a nice book, finding a book that suits you. Because each book is an adventure in your life. Pick a new adventure in your life. Go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let all the perfectionism go. You don't need to judge whether you're doing it right or judge yourself whether you should be there, because you should be there. And you're doing just fine. Have a little bit of compassion and understanding for yourself. You deserve compassion and love simply because you're here. You are you. Just as I deserve compassion and love. Everyone deserves compassion and love. Let's take a moment to just see the mosaic of the library, the different desks, the different sections of the library. Maybe there's different floors. Maybe there's a skylight in the library. These are all your possibilities. There's new levels to be had. There's a light above that can guide you. There's a certain beauty in the vastness that life can bring you. Never be afraid and never doubt yourself. You are a beautiful person. Now let's just take in one final deep breath. In this final breath, we're going to breathe in opportunities and release perfectionism. Let's breathe in opportunities. And exhale perfectionism. When you're ready, you may open your eyes.